happened again. It happened again. What, you may ask? One of my clients, no, he didn't break no contact. Much worse. He heard from his ex, and instead of telling me, he thought, okay, that's it. Don't need Lucia anymore. All is well. My ex is back. Yeah, no, not really. See, most people think that the hardest part of no contact is the silence, the waiting, the uncertainty, the fear that their ex is going to forget them. That's not the real danger. The most dangerous part of no contact is what happens actually when it starts working, when your ex finally reaches out, when they show interest again, or say that they want to try. That's when most people lose everything they've built. The second the ex throws them a bone, they abandon the strategy and they chase the high. It's like the emotional version of breaking a fast with junk food. They undo all the progress because they think that reconnection means mission accomplished. Nope, not always. So today I'm going to explain exactly what happens and how to make sure that you don't blow it like my client did. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier? Well, if you have, then you've downloaded my app Silencio, which will help you to stay in no contact. And the link for that is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our army, just hit the subscribe button and the bell notification and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. And the link to that, of course, is also underneath every single video and podcast. So when you're in no contact, what you're doing is actually emotional rehab. You're detoxing from the relationship, you're regulating your nervous system, you're rebuilding your self-respect, you're licking your wounds. So slowly you start to feel like yourself again, and your power comes back, your peace comes back. And then, the moment your ex shows interest again, that strength is going to get tested. You're thinking, finally, it worked. You feel relief, you're excited, you're hopeful. But here's the thing. When your ex comes back, or you hear from them, it's not the finish line. It's actually the most fragile stage of all because they're not coming back out of certainty. They're coming back out of curiosity, nostalgia, maybe even emotional confusion, and that's where many people fail. So let me read his text to me. He goes, I know it's been a while. Yeah, it has. And when my clients disappear, I know that one of 2 things happens. Either they haven't heard from their ex, so nothing is happening at all, so there's no need to check in with me, or they heard from their ex and they decided, yeah, I can take over from here, don't need Lucia. Sure. Continuing, she wanted to try again. We talked and saw each other for a few weeks. Then she got triggered again when I expressed my boundaries and set standards, so she left again. Everything seemed to be going so well. Well, yeah, it was only 2 weeks. She was telling me she missed me, she wanted to be with me, and sometimes she even said she loved me, including when she broke up with me again. Yeah, whatever, blah, 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 words. I don't care what anyone says when they come back. Everyone keeps falling for words. I want action, not words. So this is what happens when someone abandons the process too early. They think that their ex wanting to try again means that their work is done. No, the real work is about to begin. You know, it's like a marathon. You've spent months pushing through pain, exhaustion, doubt, and you can finally see the finish line. But then you spot your ex standing on the sidelines and they're clapping. And so instead of finishing the race, instead of finishing the marathon, you leave the track and you run towards them. You don't cross the finish line. You don't get a medal. And then when they stop clapping, there you are, left off the track, drained, disappointed, and wondering how the heck you lost everything again, everything that you worked for in a single moment. That's what happens emotionally You give up your progress for a quick hit of validation. And that's exactly why you blow it. Do not leave the track for validation. Because the moment you hear from your ex, your logic shuts off and your nervous system takes over. So please keep that in mind. You are not thinking logically when you hear from your ex, because you spent weeks, probably months, in survival mode. You were trying to regulate, you're trying to detach. And then when that text or call finally comes in, your brain is flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline. So it's like the emotional equivalent of a drug hit after withdrawal. You're like a junkie and you're being offered a hit and you're going to take it because that stops the pain for a second. So you feel hopeful again. You feel relief. You feel like you're in control. And that's why he stopped coaching with me, because I represent discipline, boundaries, self-respect, patience, strategy, and the X represents instant relief. So guess which one people are going to choose? So your attachment system is reactivating because the silence forced you into withdrawal. And then when your X appears, your body reads it as danger over, connection restored. And so you quickly drop your guard and you run towards the source of comfort, not because it's smart, but because it feels safe. And you're mistaking temporary validation for reconciliation. You think that contact means progress. It's not. It's just access. But that tiny bit of reassurance tricks you into believing it's working. So you abandon the strategy that made your ex reach out. You're trying to escape uncertainty. I get it. No contact is hell. I did a video of that topic. So I'll put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. And every day that you are silent, you're building pressure. And then when the ex returns, it's like, you can breathe again. It's a release. So you rush in just to make that anxiety stop, even if it means that you're sabotaging everything. And this is why my clients disappear when they hear from their ex. They stop looking for guidance from me. They don't see it as valuable once they think that they're quote unquote winning. They came to me for clarity when they were in pain. And once they think they've turned the corner, they go back to their old habits, thinking that, oh, they can handle it alone. Love's going to fix it. The work's done. Sure. So I used to think that, oh, they abandoned me. But then I realized, you know what? They didn't abandon me. They abandoned themselves. They traded long-term transformation for short-term comfort. And how does that work out? So then when it collapses again, when the ex pulls away or the same issues resurface, as did in this situation, they come back and now they're more humble and they're ready to listen. So for the love of God, if you're a current or future client, do yourself a favor. And when you hear from your ex, don't think, I don't need Lucia anymore. If anything, this is the most crucial part of getting your ex back. You need me more than ever. No contact isn't a trick to get someone back. It's a reset button. But if you reset and then immediately run the same program, you're just going to end up right back where you started. And now the person is even worse off because the ex has learned, I can leave and come back because they'll still be there. And every failed reunion makes the next one harder. I mean, how many chances do you think you're going to get your ex back? You don't have an unlimited number of chances. That's why it's imperative that you handle things correctly when you hear from your ex and they seem to want to reconcile. When your ex comes back, it's not a reward. It's a test of whether you've changed, whether you can stay grounded, whether your boundaries are real or just something that you talk about. And if you rush in and forget everything that you learned, you failed. You failed the test. But if you stay calm and you keep your standards, then that's when respect starts to rebuild. This is why I have the 6 questions to ask your ex when they want you back video. And I will put that link in the upper right-hand corner. And I'm willing to bet everything I have that he did not ask those 6 questions. People are afraid to ask them because they're afraid that they're going to push their ex away again. But if they're sincere about coming back and making things work, yeah, you can't push them away. It's the opposite. If you don't ask those questions, there's a good chance that they'll go away again because you're taking them back, no questions asked. So you teach them they can behave any way they want and you'll take them back in a heartbeat. And that is not the message you want to be sending out. And also, people are afraid to ask those questions because they don't know how the ex is going to react to those questions. And guess what? If they have a bad reaction, if they get frustrated that you're even asking, that's a red flag. That's another reason for the 6 questions, not just so you can get great answers, but to see how they even handle being asked those questions. And it's like, imagine that you have an interview for a job you really want. If you really want that job, you are going to answer those questions to the best of your ability. You want to give the best answers because you really want the job. And it's the same thing here. If they really want to come back, they are going to give you great answers and they don't mind how many questions you have. So if your ex reaches out, here's what to do instead of messing things up. First of all, don't celebrate, not yet, observe. Their message isn't a guarantee, it's just a signal. Next, you match their energy, not their emotion. So be calm, neutral, warm, but not overeager. Don't rush the meetup. Let them earn it through their consistent communication. Keep your boundaries. And if expressing them triggers your ex again, that's your answer. They're still not ready. It means you didn't lose them, you revealed them. So remember, the most dangerous part of no contact is not the silence. It's when the silence starts working. That's when people lose themselves and undo everything they fought for. Your goal isn't just to get your ex back. It's to get them back correctly so they don't pull away again when they get triggered. Okay? So now I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact and how is it going? And if you would like my help to get your ex back, I will take you on as a client as long as you promise not to disappear the second your ex shows up. Link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. It's theartoflove.net/coaching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. If you are listening to this as a podcast, also hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.